So today we will be building a feature such that if the user forgets the password, so we will be sending a reset URL to the user through his or her email, such that when the user clicks on that email, it will take the user to the page where the user can reset the password, and we are going to update that credentials in the database as well. And we are going to keep a maximum limit of like 10 minutes, such that the user will have to reset the password within that. And yeah, this is going to be a very interesting video, and also it's going to be quite lengthy, okay, so that you are going to learn a lot of features, and also you can implement this whenever you're using a Node Express application with MongoDB. All right, so it's going to be very useful and you're going to have a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and start. And I'm going to create a function right now called forgot password. All right, and set this within an async handler. Okay, and async function taking in the request and response. All right, now I want to grab the email that the user enters. All right, so whatever, so when the user like forgets the password, he has to enter his email so that we can send the reset URL to that particular email. All right, so let's grab that email from the request.body. So email that is coming from reg.body. All right, so now we are going to check the user based on this email ID. All right, so we are going to call this user, and we are going to search in our database, that is user dot find one. Okay, so we are just going to find one user, so based on the email. All right, so now we are going to check if the user actually exists in our database or not. So we are going to check if there is no user. Okay, so if there's no user, we want to throw an error, res.status, that is 404 not found. So throw new error and pass in a message of user not found. Alright, so that's done, and now let's create a reset token such that we will be sending this token along with the email ID. Okay, and this token will also be stored in our database in the hashed form. So we are going to match both of these. If they match, only then will the user will be allowed to change the password. Alright, so I'm going to create this in the form of a method in the user model. Alright, so reset token, and set this to user dot create password reset token. Okay, so this is a function which we need to create, which will be using the crypto module in order to create a random password string, such that we will be using it within our password reset functionality. So let's go to models, and inside our user model, so we will be creating a method over here, just like we did with the match password. So user dot methods dot the same name, so create password reset token, and set this to a function. Okay, this doesn't accept anything, so we just want to return a random string. So for that I'm going to import the crypto module. Okay, so I have already imported that. All right, so for that I'm going to create a variable called reset token, and set this to crypto dot random bytes. Okay, so this will create a random string which we need to pass in the length of the string. Okay, so I'm going to pass it 32, which is a standard one for creating tokens, and I'm going to give this hashing algorithm. Okay, so not this. So I'm going to convert this into a hexadecimal string. So we do that by using the toString method and giving it a value of hexadecimal. All right, so this is going to create a random string based on the 32 bytes within the hexadecimal format. So for that I'm going to create a field within our user model. Okay, so that we can name that password reset token. Okay, and give this a value of string. Okay, and another value I'm going to say password expires. Okay, so we want to expire the token after like a certain amount of time. So expire, sorry, reset expire. You can name this whatever you want, of course, and I'm going to give this a value of date. Okay, so that's done, and now let's go and handle this. So I'm going to set the value. Okay, so remember, we can just grab any field within our particular model by using this keyword, and make sure you need to use a function syntax, and this dot password reset token, and set that to a value of crypto. Okay, again, so I'm going to and I'm going to hash this particular password. All right, so we cannot store in raw form of passwords or any like token or anything, so we need to hash certain sensitive information, right? So I'm going to like hash that by using the method create hash, and giving it the hashing algorithm of SHA-256 that we actually did, and I'm going to pass in the token by using the update function reset token, and finally I'm going to give it the type of string, that is digest, which is in the form of hexadecimal. Okay, so digest. Okay, so that's done, and now I'm going to give it time such that the user should be able to reset the password within the time. So I'm going to append 10 minutes for the password reset thing. Okay, so password reset expires, and giving it a value of date dot now. So this is the date, okay, in milliseconds, and I'm going to pass on 10 more minutes. So I'm going to convert that into milliseconds. So 10 minutes into 60 seconds into 1000 milliseconds. So that is 10 minutes. All right, so later we are going to check this value if it is greater than the time that the user resetted the password. If it is greater than that, then we are not allowed. Okay, then again the user has to request for a password reset. Okay, so that's done, and let's finally return the reset token itself. All right, so that's done, and just a small correction, this should be password reset expires. Okay, so looks good. Okay, so now let's go to a user controller, and let's have a look at the reset token itself. Okay, which the random string gives us. So console log reset token, and now finally we need to save the user instance to the database since we modified it. Okay, so it is user dot save. Okay, so let's have a look. So before that, I forgot to export the forgot password function itself. Okay, and also I need to create a route to handle the forgot password functionality. So let's go to our user routes and define a route called router dot route, and giving it a path of slash forgot password, and giving it a post method dot post, and then pass in the forgot password function, okay, which I'm going to auto import. Okay, so that's done. Now let's test it out. Now I got my postman open, and I have everything set up. Okay, so for slash api slash user slash forgot password, and this is going to be a post request. Okay, so in the body I'm going to pass in the email address of the user that has to reset the password. So I'm typing in john@email.com, and let's send this and have a look at the token. So at the moment it's not going to do anything since we are not passing in any response. So let's cancel this and have a look at our console. Okay, so you see this is a random string that the reset token gives us. Okay, so this is a token which will actually be hashed in the database, and we will also be sending this hash token in the form of a reset URL, such that if the user who is trying to reset the password will be matching this token and the token which is in the database. So if it fails, then we are not allowing the user to reset the password. So that's what we are actually doing here, and let's proceed ahead with our forgot password. So let's get rid of this, and now let's create the URL. Okay, so that is going to be reset URL. So const reset URL. So this is the URL which we'll be sending in the through the email, okay, that the user requests. And I'm going to put this in a template string and giving it request, okay, dot protocol. So dollar sign curly braces rec dot protocol. Okay, so this will give us the protocol which is http or https, so that is colon slash slash. So this values be will be dynamic either we are in development or production, which has the secure flag, and also our domain name. So we get that from request dot get, okay, so based on the host, okay. So this will give us the domain name, and we are going to give it a URL of slash reset password, and also we are going to give it a reset token. Okay, it's not like this. So okay, and finally we are going to pass in the reset token. Okay. Okay, so our reset URL is done, and let's finally given the message body. Okay, so const message. So this is the message body, okay, which will be sending through email. So I'm going to set this to a string. Let's say forgot password, and we can say click on this link to reset your password. All right, and then pass in the value of reset token. All right, so that's done. So actually we can send in better messages, so I just want to keep it simple. All right, so now we are going to actually install a very popular package, that is node mailer, in order to send and receive emails. Okay, so any web application you're building, so node mailer will be a very crucial part whenever we are dealing with emails. All right, so that's what we'll be implementing right now. So this has various methods which we will be implementing, and in order to send and receive emails. Okay, so you can just have a look at the documentation if you don't understand anything. So I will be explaining you step by step how to send a particular email with the particular title, message, and whatever you want to send. So within our utils folder, okay, in our server directory, I'm going to create a file called send email, okay, .js. Okay, over there, actually first of all let's import the node mailer package itself. Okay, so I'm going to stop the process and make sure you are in the right directory. Npm install node mailer. Let's wait for it. Okay, so that's done, and let's turn back our server on. So now let's import the node mailer package itself. So I'm going to call it node mailer. Okay, and now I'm going to create a function called send email, and give this a function. So within the body of our function, let's create a variable called transporter. So this is the variable which will be sending it through the node mailer package. So transporter, okay, and set this to node mailer dot create transport. Okay, so this has a method called create transport, and this will take in an object. Okay, so we need to specify the credentials of our email, okay, so that we can actually send that using the required credentials. So this will take in the host first of all. So what is the platform that we are going to use, like Gmail or Hotmail or Yahoo or anything like that. So if you're using Gmail, of course you can just type in Gmail like this, and also what port does your Gmail use. So the standard one is like 587. Okay, so for Gmail, which I have actually used it before. And next we need to pass in the credentials. Okay, so this has a property called auth, and we need to set this in the form of an object where we pass in the user. Okay, so we get this basically from the .env file. Okay, so we need to like set that property. So for that, for now, let's keep this as a placeholder, process dot env dot email underscore username. Okay, or anything whatever you like to call it, and also the password we just call it pass, and we can just say process dot env dot email underscore password. All right, so that's done. So this is our first step. Okay, so by creating a transporter, so basically this consists of three steps. One is to create the transporter, then the mail options. Okay, so the from to, what is the message body, the subject, and all of that. And finally, we need to send the email using this transporter dot send email. Okay, so this is the first step. So const, let's call it mail options. Okay, and by the way, we are going to receive the options, okay, in the form of arguments. So let's get this options, okay, and we are going to set this in the form of an object, okay, so which takes in the from. Okay, so this is all there in the node mailer documentation. If you don't understand, you can also have a look for over there itself. So I am going to specify my name, okay, and I'm going to also enter my email. All right, you can of course enter yours, and the two field which we get from options dot email. All right, and then the subject that is coming from options dot subject, and finally the text. Okay, that is the body of our email. So options dot message. Okay, all right, so and also we have a field to inject any kind of HTML. So we can also send this text in the form of HTML, okay, so that we can nicely format it and then send the email. So I'm just going to keep this simple. I'm not going into the complexities. So so that's done. So our second step is to create the mail options, not main. And finally, let's go ahead and send the email. All right, so let's go under this. And first of all, we need, this is an asynchronous process. Okay, so we need to make this async. Okay, so let's await this, and finally call the transporter dot send email. Okay, send mail. Okay, so this will actually send the mail using this variable that we created using this node mailer dot create transport. All right, so this will take in the mail options. Okay, so these are all the options that we need to mandatorily provide. So mail options, just like that. All right, so we are done. Now let's finally export default, the what is this, send email. All right, so we have done so far with our send email function. Okay, so actually we are into this Gmail. Okay, so since we are not using an actual production server, so we are not allowed to, like, send and receive Gmail messages. However, once we enter into production, then we can make all these things actually work. Okay, so since for development purposes, I'm going to use a very popular third-party package called as Mailtrap, to trap all of the emails that we send using whatever we specify. All right, so this should be lowercase, and let's go ahead and check the documentation. So you can go to this mailtrap.io, okay, and then create an account. Okay, so you can just sign up for free. I have already signed in through mine, so I'm going to log in. So once you log in, you get an interface like this. Okay, so this is an recent inbox which is 8 days ago, which I was just doing it for testing. All right, so now let's go to this email testing. Okay, and there we actually get all of our inbox. Okay, so what you just got to do is you just need to click on add project, and you just need to type in your project name. Okay, so I'm going to type in our project name and click on add. Okay, so at the moment it's not allowing me to add in to one more than one project. So I'm just going to cancel this and just stick with this one, which was in my previous video, okay, which I made. So this is So this is all about this mail trap. You can just go ahead and explore more about what mail trap services are about. So to get started, you can just click on the project that you created, and here you will be getting all of your emails. All right. So we are right now interested in getting our credentials, okay, so that we can integrate that inside our application. So you can just go here and click on show credentials, and these are the credentials that mailtrap provides us based on our account. Okay, so this is the host. Okay, so instead of Gmail we'll be using this, okay, for development, and this is the port. Okay, so same 587 we are going to use, and this is the fake username and password. All right, so let's integrate all of this in our .env file. So I am just going to copy this. Okay, so going to .env file, here I've already copy pasted all of those credentials in order to save some time. Okay, so we have this email, host, port, the username and password. Okay, so we are all getting from these four fields, right? So let's go ahead into our send email and replace all of these. So I'm going to write process dot env dot email underscore that is sorry, it is email host. Okay, and then the port. So I'm just going to copy this and then replace this with that, and call this port. Alright, so that's done, and make sure you restart your server since you played with this .env file. Alright, otherwise your changes will not be reflected. So now let's send in the options, okay, to actually send the email. Okay, so into our inside our user controller, and I'm going to open up a try catch block. Okay, because there might be something something might go wrong, like if you have passed in the wrong credentials, so we need to catch the error. So we need to open up a try catch, and within our try I'm going to await, okay, send email, since this is a asynchronous function. Okay, so I'm going to auto import that from dot slash util slash send email, and pass in our options. All right, so first thing is we are going to send in the email that is coming from user dot email. Okay, so the instance that we saved, okay, using this user dot save, and next we are going to send in the subject. Okay, and send in, we can just say token sent to email. Okay, so if everything goes well, all right, so and then we are going to finally pass in the message that we created over here. Okay, so of course you can just create a better message. So next we are finally going to send the response. Okay, if everything goes well, so let's say res dot status 200, okay, dot json, and we are going to pass in the message, and let's say token sent to email. Okay, so that's done, and next let's catch if there is any error. So we first of all we are going to we are going to set the token to undefined. Okay, so since the token is already there in the database, okay, so after we have created the reset token, and since everything since something has gone wrong, we want to actually remove that value. So let's take the user dot password reset token and set this equal to undefined. Okay, and next we are going to again do the same for password reset expires. So I'm just going to copy this reset expires. Okay, and then finally we are going to save the instance of the user. Okay, so the changes never happens unless you save. Okay, use the save method. All right, so that's done, and let's send some response. At least we can get to know what is going on. Okay, so res dot status 500. Okay, so this is an internal server error, so we can pass in our response in the form of JSON. So message, which is error. Okay, and then we are going to sorry, not message, it is status. Okay, and then we are going to give a message saying there was an error in sending the email. Okay, so please try again later. Okay, so just something like that. Okay, so everything is done right now, and I guess we can just okay, actually this is not reset token, this is reset URL, my bad. Okay, so that's done. Now let's test it out. So everything looks good. Okay, so let's actually, before that, let's log this error to the console if there's anything, since we are not using this variable anywhere, so that we can get to know. So console log this error, and I just realized we need to change this message. Okay, so while talking and typing, I just interchange these two, so I can just say your password reset token. Okay, and just say valid for 10 minutes. Okay, so that's done. So let's now finally test it out. I'll just open my postman and make sure the server is running. Alright, so let's check into server and npm run dev. So I got my postman open, and I'm going to use the same route with the post request, and passing in the email, okay, in the form of request.body, and let's send this, and let's have a look what do we actually get. Okay, it's taking quite long. Okay, so there we go, we get token sent to email. So let's go now ahead and have a look at our mail trap, and let's refresh this. Yes, there we go, we have our email with our reset token, which is valid for 10 minutes. Let's open that, and yeah, there we go, we have this url that we actually set within our within this, okay, the reset url. Okay, so we are getting the message, and as well as all the options that we send. All right, so everything's working fine, so congratulations. All right, so let's now create a route to handle this link, okay, such that if the user clicks on this, we will need to like send in the password, such that we will also replace that password in the database. All right, so let's do that. So back to our code, and we are going inside the routes file, and within our user routes we are going to create a route to in order to reset the password. Okay, so I am going to call it router.route. Okay, and this is coming from slash that is reset password. All right, and we are going to create a function for the reset password. Okay, so that is dot post. Okay, reset password. Password. Okay, so that's done. Let's later import this, and let's first of all create the body of our function. Okay, so let's go right below this forgot password and create a function called reset password. Okay, and set this to again the async with within the async handler. Alright, so now let's first of all take the token from our database and match the actual token that we are actually getting, okay, within our reset password. Okay, so let's call this hashed token. Okay, so this token is coming from the rec.params. Okay, so which is equal to request.params dot reset token, so whatever we specified. Okay, reset password. Okay, actually we didn't even we didn't even set the parameter over here, so my bad. So first of all, it is password, and it is colon slash colon reset password. Okay, so this is a reset token, not password. Okay, so that is done, and now let's grab that within our user controller. So that is slash reset token. Okay, so I'm making lot many so many mistakes, guys, in this video. So forgive me if it is too irritating. So it's very difficult for me to type and talk. So this is a token which we need to pass inside the crypto module. Okay, when we hash the token. Okay, so this hash token we need to compare with the token in our database. So if they match, then only then the user is allowed to reset the password. If not, there is some tampering done. So we are going to abort the process. All right. So let's bring in the crypto module. So crypto dot create hash, just like we did in the user model. Okay. So create hash. Again, we are going to repeat that. So SHA-256. Okay, and then we are going to pass in the token using the update function, the reset token, so that we get from the request dot params. Okay, dot reset token, and then finally give it the form of the string, that is hexadecimal. All right, so that's done. And now let's find the user based on this hash token. Okay, so last time we did it based on this email. Okay, so this we found the email, we found the user based on this email. Now we are going to find it based on the hash token, okay, that we created within our user field. So this password reset token. Okay, so let's call that right here. So const user, and set this equal to await user dot find one, and we are going to find based on the password reset token. Okay, and then pass in the hashed token. All right, and also we want to check if the password is expired or not. Okay, so we need to also find based on that. So password reset expires, so we are going to check this using the mongoose properties. Okay, so within curly braces we have this dollar sign greater than. Okay, and set this to a value of date date dot now. Okay, so date dot now, we are going to check if it is greater than date dot now. Okay, so we have added 10 more minutes within our this function. Okay, so that is date dot now plus 10 minutes. Okay, so if it is within that range, then it is this passes, this returns true. Okay, if not, it returns false. Okay, so if it returns false, then we are not going to get the user instance. Okay, so let's check that. So if there is no user, okay, then we are going to return the response itself, res dot status, that is 400, that is a bad request, and throw in some JSON with an object saying that status is failed. Okay, so just a flag. Okay, so if it succeeded or it failed, so I'm going to say fail, and we are going to send the message saying token is invalid. All right, or has expired. Okay, so anything would have actually happened. Okay, so expired. All right, so that's done, we have taken care of that. And now if we actually find the user, okay, so we need to change the password. So user dot password. Okay, so which is in the database, we are going to set that to the request dot body dot password. Okay, so that is coming from request dot body, and then the password reset token, user dot password reset token, and set this to undefined because we no longer need it. Our password is reset, and the same for password reset expires. All right, so that's done, and let's finally save the user. Okay, so that's done, and now we need to finally generate the token. Okay, based on this new password. Okay, so that was previously from the old password. Okay, so we are going to make use of the generate token function that we created in the earlier videos. Okay, so remember that. So generate token, and then we are going to pass in the response, and then the user dot underscore id. All right, so that's done. Our token is now generated, and let's now finally send the response res dot json. Okay, so we can send in the id, that is from user dot id. Or you know what, I can just copy this from one of the previous responses. Okay, so where is that? Yeah, over here. So in order to save some time, so that's done. And yeah, everything is done. Let's finally export, reset password. All right, so now let's go to our user routes, and actually let's have a look at what URL do we get. We get we for some reason we don't get the slash API slash users. Okay, so actually it's my bad. I need to explicitly mention that. So let's go to our user routes and change this. Okay, this is already changed. We need to go to our user controller, and over there we need to change this to slash API slash that is reset password. Okay, so that is slash API slash users. Okay, and then this one. Okay, so I just forgot that, and I thought this will already be included in that. Okay, so that's done. And one more thing, within our user routes, this should be a patch request. Okay, since we are modifying just few fields within our database, so we are not going to modify the entire database. All right, so the patch, and then we need to import this reset password. Okay, which I'm going to auto import. So everything is fine, and sorry about the previous errors. So that actually happens when I'm talking and typing. So let's now test it out. So I got my postman, and let's try to send this again with the same credentials. So hit send. Okay, so let's wait for it. Yeah, we get token sent to email. So let's check our mail trap. Okay, refresh. And there we go, we get our password reset token now with the slash API slash users, and we get this reset token, okay, which we actually specified as a parameter. So let's grab this, okay, and go to our postman and create another request, but this time is going to be a patch request. So add request. Okay, so that's done, and let's make the request, change this to patch, and this is slash reset password slash, then we are going to pass in the id. Okay, so let's just grab this id and then paste it here. All right, so moment of truth, let's send. Okay, first of all, I forgot to, and also I forgot to import the crypto module. So let's go top and import crypto. All right, so that's imported. So now let's go to a postman and enter some data, that is the email. Okay, sorry, the password. So you can just go here and specify password, and set that to this time just 12345. Okay, so that's done, and let's click send. All right, so I guess our password is right now reset, and also we have our cookie that is based on the latest password that we set, and yeah, everything's working fine. Let's now test it out based on this ID. Okay, so that is the John's email ID. We let's try to log in. So let's go to John and type in 12345. All right, so that's what we set, and hit send. And yeah, there we go, our password is successfully reset, and everything is working fine. Congratulations, if you have come so far in this video, you have learned a very good feature which is inside MERN Stack, that is to reset the password using certain packages like node mailer and mailtrap. You got to know everything about it. All right, so congratulations for that, and yeah, everything's good. So just to confirm, let's type in again the wrong password and see if it still works or no. Nope, it doesn't work. Very nice. Okay, so now let's again let me show you what actually happens behind the scenes. Okay, so let's change the password for Mary. Okay, this time let's go to post request. First we need to click on forgot password with the email. Okay, so we are going to specify the email of Mary. Okay, so and then hit send. Okay, let's wait for it. Okay, so we get token sent to email. So let's check our email, refresh. Yeah, there we have it, our reset token. So let's grab this. Okay, rather than just the token. Okay, so now I want to see in my database what the token actually looks like. Okay, so I am going to refresh. Let's go to Mary, and there we have it. Okay, so we have this password reset token. Also the password reset expires, okay, which is 10 minutes from now. You can just see over here, 10 minutes from the time the user request for a password reset. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. And let's again try it once more. Let's go to slash api slash users slash reset password and replace this token. All right, and hit send. First of all, let's change this to 12345 again. Yeah, there we go, we get our response. And now let's try to log in using Mary. Let's try with the old password first. We get invalid email or password, and now let's change that to the resetted password. Yeah, there we go. So let's purposely right now create an error. Okay, so I'm going to let's once again test this by requesting for a password reset. Let's wait for it. Okay, token sent to email. So let's refresh. And here we have one. And let's copy the token. So this is a valid token. So if you also see in the database, if we refresh, all right, so this is the hashed version. Okay, so this is not the in the raw form. If you compare this to that, it's different. So when we are comparing it, we are going to hash the one which we are getting from the URL, and then trying to match this. Okay, so now let's click on this and replace this. Okay, and now I'm going to change this from 5 to 6, and let's hit send. You see token again says it's invalid or expired. Okay, so again if I change this to 5. Okay, so there we have it, we have reset the password once again. Okay, so that's done. And again if we try to reset using the same URL, it will fail. You can see token is invalid or has expired. So we have gone through all the edge cases by for resetting the password. So I hope that's clear. So everything is working fine. I hope you got to know every single detail of like resetting password using node mailer within a node express app. All right, so I'll see you in the next one.